Shalom, shalom. Baba Kushah, somebody please check sound check. And where's Horn? He's still hurting. Somebody checked it. Okay, Kanka, we
Good
good.
sound, kind. It was Shalom, Shalom. We are the men of the Great Millstone, the Chicago camp here, with our honored guests, the brothers from Florida, from Miami. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, all honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Double honors unto our apostles and elders. Salutations and honors to all our fellow laborers. To the scattered elect. The Israelite foreigners that are out there listening and learning, and to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning. We do mean the few.
We don't care if you get offended.
Yeah, and as you see the title of the name, he knows, but he's still in denial, man. And what made me come up, I was rewatching a movie that I watched before, and it's always good to watch movies that have that much information because there's so much to process and you miss a lot of stuff. And I was watching that movie with what's his name, Anthony Mack, when he was the high tech super soldier, humanoid thing. Movie is off the fucking chain, man. And his name is Captain Leo, right? Captain Leo, and what made me think about it is that one part of the movie when he explains to the Jake, who's a complete fucking Uncle Tom, who loves his enemy. Yeah,
Outside the Wire.
Outside the Wire. Shit off the chain. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it twice. Yeah. Real talk. But the coon lieutenant from the Air Force is with him on the mission. Super fucking cool. Rah, love his enemy so much. But there's one scene that where he tells him, "Why do you think my face looks the way it is?" And he was like, he said, "Why do you think they made my face the face of this high-tech experimental machine? Because only two people knew what he was: the lieutenant that was with him from the Air Force, and the lieutenant colonel back at the base. Everyone else just thought he was another soldier. Thought he was just some crazy ass badass soldier. But he was a super soldier, and he was partially human. They probably used fucking baby fetuses or some shit, but he was a fucking machine. All right, and this machine decided that the enemy was America. All right, that the reason why we have these perpetual wars was because of America, and that so many people had died at the hands of this machine. This AI started thinking for itself, and the AI decided that, and that's what he was laughing. First $1 billion, AI, and it goes and it turns on its maker. All right, and it gave it a Jake face. So it was a couple things with there. What they're telling you is Jake is going to be the problem, and they were also telling on themselves, because about maybe 4 or 5 years back, and you get the scriptures ready, but about 4 or 5 years back, there was a couple of smarty-yards, some I think they were from MIT, if I can remember correctly, because I've been trying to find the article, and it seemed to have disappeared. Benji knows what I'm talking about. And there were two MIT students, I believe they were from MIT, that created an AI.
I was just looking for it just now.
And what they did, and this is for brothers who didn't know or never heard of it, but they created a AI, and they basically released the AI on the internet, and to see what it would do. And what the AI did was it began to learn. So all the history that we bring out, so basically the AI came up with that the problem in the world is the white man, and that we need to exterminate all white people. Right. That's what the AI came up with, because it started looking at history and looking at current events and everything that's going on. And the AI decided, well, if we just got rid of this people, the world would probably heal itself, fix itself, and when they got the results, they freaked out, and then they shut down the program and deleted it, and you can't find. They made sure that shit they wiped any remembrance of it, and away.
Sound like Jay Rockefeller and him saying we should have never created the internet. Because it's so much that we're in the age of the info, you know what I'm saying, and truth, you know what I'm saying, coming out, and they're being exposed every which way. And when I say they, I'm talking about the powers that be, as far as the banking elite, and they're being exposed. And even Jay Rockefeller himself said, man, we should have never created the internet. Just like those MIT students, hey, they should have never created that AI to go ahead and find out who's the real cancer of the earth.
And they show that really in every robotic movie, our robot to whatever you watch, they always come to the same realization. You got the Age of Ultron, come to the same realization that Esau really, because he's the ruler of this place, he's the problem. He said the robots got to save mankind from themselves. And who is that, man?
Hey, a lot of times it ain't the team, it ain't like the team, you know what I'm saying? It's management. Like when Gar and Pax was, you know what I'm saying? they were horrible. You know what I'm saying? Bulls was horrible. They had some really good teams at some particular times, but it was that management. And so it's the management of this world that is the problem. We need new management.
And that's what the character, which was Captain Leo in the movie, said. The AI, he said, "Why do you think my face is the face of this?" And he said, "Why do you think I'm not some blonde haired, blue eyed, 6'3", blonde haired, blue eyed guy?" He said, "Because my face," he said, "the reason because I can go into different places because my face says neutrality." And so by them putting that line in the movie, what that means is that the whole world knows the plight of the so-called black man in America, and that how they're mistreated and how they're done wrong. So it was easier to make his face the face of negotiation with all these different conflicts, because people feel threatened by guys with blonde hair and blue eyes. I've said it over and over again. Even Don Lemon said it on TV and got in trouble for it. That the problem in the world, that was some professor
with the dreads in court.
Yeah. All right. Because remember when Don Lemon about a year and a half ago?
And this Don Lemon is one of the biggest coons on the planet.
Yeah.
And he went. This was CNN.
And then right.
He said it right on the news. That the white man is the fucking so-called.
He said the most violent, the most dangerous people in the world are white males.
Okay, hit this precinct.
Absolutely, bring them out.
Lay home 3.
I saw
and 19. El Dorado got one too. Yeah. There was no healing of like bruise, like wound is grievous. All that hear the brood of thee, never brood means news, of thee shall clap their hands over thee, for upon whom have not thy wickedness passed continually.
Dang.
So the world now equates Esau Edom to wickedness, man. Like it says in Isaiah 14, they laid a continual stroke upon the nations, man. So now the world, when they look at Esau, they think of violence, man. They think of oppression.
Yeah, he didn't hate blood, so blood is going to pursue him.
That's right.
Go ahead, Zaquan, and I'll read that Micah that the brother Kazak Banya Howard put up. Shalom, brother.
It's Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and the scripture described Esau Edom as being red. You're not white, man. All right. You describe Esau as being red. That Esau is the forefather of you so-called white people today. You call yourself white, but you're really red. So it says, and there went out another horse that was red. The horse represents power. And power was given to him by the Most High that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given to him a great sword, which that was blessing given to him by Isaac, man. All right. So this scripture proves you are the problem, man. It says power was given to you to take peace away from the earth. Because scripture tell you when the wicked is in power, the people mourn.
Got it right here. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
And even when you go out and about, man, you go to these different stores, people got attitude to each other. That shows you right there, people are not happy. They're in mourning because the wicked's in power, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they on edge.
Yeah.
And the violence among Edomites is very high. All right. It's very high.
I got a precept.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is set among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised.
Yeah, he's greatly despised, man. People, and that's the perfect, and that's why they made Anthony Mackie's face the face of this high tech super soldier robot, and the shit that he was able to do, the hand to hand combat, man, the fucking robot was off the fucking chain, man.
Man,
Right.
I got a couple.
Absolutely, brother.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 33. Now, this is, I'm just reading. It says, Deuteronomy 5 and 33. Ye shall walk in all the ways which the Lord your God hath commanded you, that ye may live, and that it may be well with you, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which ye shall possess. All right. These ways was given to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the biblical Hebrew Israelites. And when we were to get to our land, all right, he gave us a way to conduct ourselves, a way that was different from all other nations, especially Esau, Edom, right? So this way that he gave to us, he said that ye may live and that it may be well with you, right? Now here in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and the point is in 15, but I'm going to start at 12. It said, now this is the mindset of Esau, Edom, the wicked. It says, therefore let us lie wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He is clean contrary to our doings. So we were given the ways, according to Deuteronomy 5 and 33, the ways that ye may live and that it may be well with you. If you follow these particular ways that was given to us Israelites, right? But this same way that was given to us Israelites, that we may live and it may be well with you, we're clean contrary, all right, to Esau, Edom, and they're clean contrary to us and our doings. So if they're clean contrary to that ye may live and it be well with you, then it goes to say that, well, you shall die and it's going to go bad for you, all right? The opposite of that ye may live and it be well with you, the opposite is die and it shall be bad for you, right? This is the doings of Esau, Edom.
That's right. Yeah.
Now it says, he upbraided us with our offending the law and objected to our infamy, the transgressing of our education, which we do. It says, he professed to have the knowledge of God, which we do. And he calleth himself a child of the Lord, which we are. Verse 14, it says, he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous.
Which we were.
Yes, yes. He is grievous. All right, so Esau, Edom, the wicked, is saying that he, Israelites, that's in their right mind and, rehearsing the righteous acts, it says he is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. See, our ways are of the fashion of life everlasting. All right. The ways of Esau, Edom is clean contrary to that. So he's about death. All right. And we can see what's going on in this world right now. What's prevalent? Death, disease, rape, rob, murder, envy, hate. All these things are prevalent today. Yep. And that's why the brother brought out that Proverbs, when the wicked is in authority, the people mourn.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
See, but when the righteous are in authority, we're going to rule with the ways of life. All right. So one would, in their right mind, would beg the Lord to hasten that day, like it says in Peter. All right. Because this devil, all right, he's not happy unless, he's going in the ways of death and bringing everybody with him.
Yeah, I said misery loves company. He just wants you to drag you down with him, man. If you don't want to be with him, he won't look at you as the enemy.
Sirach chapter 13 and 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor, right? So if you're not for this world, you're against Esau, man.
Right.
Right? And vice versa. You're not for your how about we're against you. All right. So it can't be it can't be two winners, man. All right, like my father said, ain't no first or second place. It can only be somebody in first place.
Hey, second place is first place is loser. I experienced that just a couple days ago, man. So that's all you are. You the first place loser, man.
I got a quick one. This is Ecclesiastes. It's on Sirach 10. We start at 7. Pride is hateful before the Most High power of God and men. By both doer one committeth iniquity, because the unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. So he got to pay for all of that. All his wickedness he did, getting his riches by deceit, being prideful, because hey, that's hateful before the Most High power of God.
Yep.
And man, ain't nobody dealing with that. Hey, everybody hate a prideful ass person. Like you just don't like it. Especially if you knew somebody like in your you growing up with, like, damn man, you just too damn cocky. Like,
Yep. Hey,
damn, chill out, bro. You ain't gotta do all that.
So in discourse, he funded the Iraq side, Iranian side in the war and shit. All the North got arrested and shit.
Exactly.
All the North got busted, sent to Iraqis and to the Iranians and shit. That was at each other's throats.
Exactly. And all the injuries he did, the atrocities, the slaughtering, the hanging, killing our people.
Yeah.
Hey man, you gotta pay for all that. You got a lot to pay for. You're not gonna get away with
And
it.
he's still doing those things to people. Hell, he over there killing heathens. Them our slaves, man. Hell, you killing all
That's our pets.
You got it right. You got to. Hey, we want payment for that property.
Right.
Somebody grab that Micah.
Micah 2.
They seized the Panama Canal, man. That was crucial. That was crucial to the building of their enterprise, man. That's stolen property, man. They have no business there. And yet they stole that and still control ports. So it's their profiting off that, man.
Mm-hmm. But this real quick in response to something that the God said. This is Luke 11:23. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth.
That's it. Right. It's either you pregnant or you're not. Right. It's either you.
Well, I'm kind of.
I'm a little bit pregnant.
Almost pregnant. Right. Huh?
Right. You either on the side of Yahweh Shah or you're not.
That's true. And like the women be saying they got a whole nigga.
That's it.
What you got, half a nigga?
Right.
Right.
She's kind of a virgin.
She's kind of a virgin.
She's still technically. Damn.
What you got, brother?
I got that Micah. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. All right, and that's Esau Edom, man. Okay, the elites of Esau's realm, so to say, man. All right, they devise all these different wicked iniquities to come up against Jake, all right, to further push us into wickedness, man. That's why Isaiah 10 come into place. They want to decree and righteous decrees, man. Because right now the Lord had gave them the power, so they have that power to be able to sit there, exercise their wickedness, and push it upon the people, man. Okay. So the Lord is calling for their death, man. That's why it says, woe unto them. All right, verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's exactly what these devils do, man. They go around the world with their militaries, man, and just fucking oppress people, man. All right, they went over there in the Middle East. The Israelites somewhat had their house in order, man. The women was covered up, right? All right, heads was covered. Them bitches wasn't driving. They wasn't traveling. They wasn't doing none of that shit.
Yeah, even in marriages, the fathers were arranging the marriages of their daughters too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty simple for you
Yep.
back you up.
Yep.
This is back at 2 and
All right,
6.
Spirit had that too.
Oh, I had that too. Shit.
Wait, you hold that. Finish that. I just had something to bring behind that and then bring that out. Baba shop.
Okay, verse 3. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil.
See, so there ain't no way out of this ass whooping. And going back to the AI soldier, man, to Captain Leo, he said the reason why his face was the face of a Jake, man, is because the world hates Esau. You know, they hate Esau, and Esau is responsible for so much devilment, so much thievery, so much robbing, stealing, and murder, that it was actually good propaganda, good politics to take the super soldier and give him a so-called black face.
Okay, get the quote
All right.
that he said in the movie.
Connor, you can get it again.
Yeah, he said, "My sleeve may say U.S., but my face conveys neutrality. It keeps people calm."
You see that? Right. And why so why is seeing a black face calm outside of America? Because in America, people don't get calm when they see a so-called brown face. All right? Because the people of the world have witnessed the atrocities that are done against the so-called black man.
And they recognize it way more quicker
And
than over here. When I was
they see it immediately. Immediately.
Because Esau evil didn't stop with us. He put it on their ass too.
Yeah.
They was fine with it when it was just us.
Right.
But now they're going through it. Now it's the fucking problem.
You know, when I lived in London, one of the things that I was living and working at the hostel, almost every Edomite, and not only Edomites, but almost everybody I met, but even Edomites, they would ask me, "Where you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from America. I'm from Chicago." They said, "No, man, where you really from?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "I don't know. I'm from America." They said, "Well, did you vote for Bush?" I'm like, "No." Okay, you cool. These motherfuckers, and then you talking about buying you drinks, hanging out. They had no problem with White Castle or nothing. Oh man, it was love, bro. We go to London, you felt like royalty. I was in Scotland, I felt like royalty. I was in Holland, I felt like royalty. When I was in
They still got
Amsterdam,
icons over there.
yeah, I was
They
felt
know
like
we were
royalty.
ruling.
Yeah.
Even certain countries in Europe,
Yeah,
they still have those yearly celebrations.
yeah, and blackface.
Yeah.
Blackface.
Yeah.
They
Different
do
parts
that
of in different places near Holland and Sweden, they still have those things.
Yeah.
So they're very well aware of it. It's just you dumbass Americans that have no clue of that.
Right.
You know, we tell you the Irish were not white, the Scots were not white,
That's right.
the British were not white, and you looking at us like, and many of these Americans know.
Yeah.
All right.
And
But the
these
majority of them, you know, they just
but even the European Edomites hate American Edomites. All right. There's
America's face is most out than his fellows.
there you go.
well, they showed you that in the Hostile movies.
Yep.
Because it was mostly them Eastern European you know, Edomites was wanted to fuck up American Edomites.
Yep.
It was because it was mostly Americans that were getting hacked to pieces or whatever kind of weird shit that they were doing.
Hey, remember the first one, I think was I think it was Issachar, if I'm mistaken. They was gonna let him go until he sided with the Edomite, and they was gonna fuck his ass up.
So you side with this motherfucker? Right.
Yeah.
Typical Issachar.
It's a back into the city. So now all to take up a parable against them, and a toxic proverb against them, and say, "Woe to them that increaseth that which is not his." Well, right with that Michael Tudor brother said, they'll oppress houses, all right, lands, heritages, man. They take everything from you, man.
Yeah, but now you can't even be who you are. You got what we say you are, man.
Right.
Because we what you are.
Right.
That's us.
Woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long? So they looking like, hey, this man taking all our resources, everything from us. How long? They pissed off. They don't have it like us. We know what time we in. We know to serve the Lord. So they like, look, we gotta take shit in our own hands.
That's what if you've been watching the last couple of videos I've done with Roy, who's that sent me that video? Oh yeah, that was the Wadda. Yeah, that video was heavy, man. But that dude Roy Ortega, he's a former military officer, and he's talking about how the division in the military and all the form man.
Oh yeah, they said. Now look, I don't know how accurate it was. They said 800,000 servicemen, and it's only 1 point something million. That's why they got these pictures made it mandatory. They said 800,000 servicemen don't want to take that
shit.
The police departments across the nation and all, because Chicago's fucking up hard.
Yeah.
And the sheriff departments and the fire departments don't want to do it either.
Yeah.
That's right.
So they getting ready to have a problem,
Yeah.
and they getting ready to lose a lot of teachers. See, it's all starting to turn on them. So Esau just gonna have to there's nothing left for him but to bear his teeth. Because I watched the video today with what's her name, Kim what's her name, but anyway, she was breaking down how these already struggling businesses, what they're getting ready to do. Because even my professor was like, when they say, look, to keep your business license, you got to take the, you got to take the Vanessa venom. Then the dope is done. It's over. It's getting right.
But that's
so, and that's what they're getting ready to do. The business owners are going to be forced to take the Vanessa venom, and they don't, and to keep their business license, and they don't want to do it, and they're gonna lose so much business because they're like, look, we haven't recovered from this shit.
Exactly.
Just because everything was opened up,
Right.
it wasn't opened up because a lot of businesses were already dead, dying, and done.
Right.
So now you're gonna take these businesses that are struggling, to make ends meet, and then you're gonna lessen their patrons.
Two things. You said a lot. It's two things I remember. The first one, Biden said that. He said, look, we don't have to make it mandatory. He said the business is going to do it. So that must mean they're going to put the clamps on the business at some point. Well, you business owners, you got to get it and then enforce that shit.
It goes back to what Dr. Lisa said. I had this conversation 3 years ago with a fake Jew who knows he's a fake Jew. And she was one of the big shots in the APA, American Psychiatric Association. All right, and I had this conversation with her, and matter of fact, I haven't talked to her in a while because we usually talk every couple months. I haven't talked to her in a while because as soon as all this crazy shit started happening, she texted me. It's like fuck, shit. But she said it, because I didn't. This is all before the boogeyman thing. Because I just assumed, well, the dollar just gonna get so weak that all this shit gonna start happening. I had no idea that they were gonna use some pseudoscience as a weapon and all that other stuff. But nevertheless, what she said, it all circling back to the Marcus Aurelius. She said, well, I guess it will come to that. She said this.
Yeah.
And she said, and they're not gonna force us to do what they're gonna do is they're gonna make life impossible to live if you don't have it.
Which is forcing us.
And that's why people are gonna comply. And those were her own words.
That was the other point. You said a lot of heavy stuff in the spirit. Wrong. The other thing is the restrictions they putting on these businesses.
Yep.
The people that want to go, the people that's going out doing shit are the ones that's not willing to take the shit. Everybody else scared.
You want to take
They're in their houses wearing fucking masks. They're not trying to
In
go
their
out
cars
to
by
business.
themselves.
Right. They
Walking down the street.
Ain't
Ain't nobody in front of them 100 feet. Ain't nobody behind them 100 feet. They by their goddamn self.
Right. With fucking masks on. So they're not trying to give you pictures to your fucking stores. They're not trying to go there. But then they limit these fucking businesses, which only shoots them in the foot, which is by design. They needed an excuse to why the economy's collapsing.
Yeah,
I was watching the first episode of this dumbass show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They said, what's the worst part of the bid, 18+1? They said that the people dying, and it was a whole joke. They said it's half fact and half happened. But then one bitch was like, nah, it's the economy collapsed. That was one of the things.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, funny shit.
Yeah, so they was trying to
Wicked
blame
ass
the
show.
this boogeyman disease for the economy collapse. But this economy been going down here way before that, man.
Right.
That's right.
Man,
Damn, they got new episodes?
yeah, the season just came out.
Damn.
It's good too.
Okay.
So it's funny. I went, to take a friend out to
Christmas
a
turn,
fucking
yeah.
bar a couple weeks ago, and they'll say, you have to have your V papers,
That shit
And
matters.
but guess what? There was like one person in the motherfucking bar. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay,
Hey,
thank
it's
you.
just-
Have a
it's
nice
just
day.
like-
I'm money coming to you,
Come.
and goodbye.
Brother, it's just like before all this hit. During the day, I would have a lot of free time in between clients. So what I would do, I would go watch movies, and then I go do a lesson.
Right.
And I'm near the Regal Theater on Western.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Right there, Humble Park.
Right past the expressway.
I'm right there. And I remember watching like one of them big title movies. I can't remember what it was, but I actually was in the IMAX thing by my fucking self.
Yep.
In the middle, I'm in here by myself, like I'm at the crib. See the shaking and shit, surround sounds, and I'm like, and then it was raw as fuck. It was, but I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, and I'm starting laughing because I'm like, this place is finished. Ain't nobody in this. I have the fucking theater to myself, man.
And you could have laughed like
Right. Pick my nose, whatever, man. Right.
That happened around my birthday.
And it's happening, and it's still happening.
Yeah.
I went to the theater twice in
We
the
had
last
great
2
fun
weeks,
there.
and I was like one or two people in there.
So the candy man,
Yes, and it's all about revenge. I went and saw it. Right? It's better. It's way better than the first one.
Welcome to the motherfucking room.
And so, just know it actually it falls in line with the subject matter of what we're talking about. Because when that scene when they tell you on TV when they said it's not just him, it's the whole damn hive. Basically, if the spirit of all the different men that got hung and lynched and murdered in the America Jakes was in them, and then they started doing? And what was he doing? He was killing Edomites, killing cops. Yeah. And then there's a scene. I won't tell you too much. When he talks to the woman, and he says, "You think that they're innocent? They're not innocent. Their blood needs to be spilled." So call a lawyer. How about you? That's good. Like I said, why would you make a movie and put that in there?
Because he knows. He knows.
Because he's he's killing all these cops, and then he lets her know that these men are innocent.
Yeah. It's great. It's a great fucking film.
It's a great fucking movie, man.
Well, I'm gonna watch it now.
And
Right.
the whole boogie that they talked to the Sabbath. It's really the prophecies being fulfilled. All this is prophecy. Isaiah 19. They will try to bob themselves, man. They shoot themselves in the fucking foot, man. They destroy their own economy. They getting rid of all the labor. We really in the time of Ecclesiastes 12 starts the first verse. All right, we're in the time of Isaiah 19. We're in the time of the end. Man.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is it, brothers. And I've been saying for the last couple months that come September, a lot of shit was gonna show its face, man.
Mm-hmm.
And watch this month. It's just gonna get worse and worse this month, and you're gonna see more and more. You're gonna see more and more uprisings and more draconian things. And I wouldn't be. And there's another issue with this incel problem. I hear white men talking about how they scared of incels.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
It's turned up.
So a lot of these women are getting ready to start getting put to death.
Yes.
By these
You
incels.
say, oh, the testosterone. Hey, them incels strong as hell. They ain't getting no release. They send you shake that ass on Instagram,
Right.
YouTube, TikTok.
Right.
They waiting for you, man. That's why that bitch, she got put to death.
Exactly.
Instagram
bitch in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Murder suicide. Killed that bitch, killed himself.
Yep.
Yeah, see what the Lord says, like he said he's gonna come in the thief in the night.
She looked better in the dirt.
That's it says the Lord said he's gonna come as a thief in the night. What people don't understand is that's he said they're gonna be as in the days of Noah, they're gonna be marrying, they're gonna be building shit, they're gonna walk the bam, but at the same time it's gonna have a whole bunch of plagues. I have not seen the natural disasters on the level that it's on right now, from the floods to the hurricanes to the volcanoes to the fires.
New York has had a flash flood.
And a tornado.
And it happened second
And a
time, but it had twice this year.
And people in
Tornado Jersey and all that.
And some dude, and in the midst of all this, some dude got eaten by a damn alligator
In Florida, and he escaped the flood part of it to be waiting.
He escaped the flood.
In the hurricane.
He went in his own basement to try to clear a drain or something, and got attacked and killed and eaten by alligator in his own fucking house.
They saw dolphins.
His wife ran down there.
Yeah, dolphins was in the middle of the street. Dolphins were actually in the middle of the street swimming.
That storm that happened a couple years back in Jersey, you had great whites swimming down the street.
That shit gone.
You had great whites in the streets, and so
That's that vengeance created. That's the spirits created for vengeance.
Bring it out, brother. His brother stood up.
Yeah, he got it.
This is Amos chapter 5, verse 18. It says, "Woe to them that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh. To what end is it for you?" Those are mockers. It's a daytime. It says, "The day of the Lord Yahweh is darkness and not light."
Right. Everybody wanted the end. Everybody wanted the Messiah's return. But look, you didn't consider when you what you're asking for is the Lord coming with vengeance. So it says, "What manner of person ought you to be in all holy compensation and godliness?" All right. So what end is that to you, man? What end is that to you? That ain't talking about the man of the Lord. We commanded to hasten the thing. That's separate. That's talking about you fucking hypocrites, man. Like Isaiah 48:1 go. Isaiah 48. You a nation that approach the Lord and do no evil, man. You're the most wicked motherfuckers on the planet, man. Bitch post 1 minute is a post of Buddha, then the next minute, if you're not afraid to say you love God, do this. Bitch, you were just talking about Buddha a minute ago. That's the nation that we dealing with, man. They gotta get fucking put the double Esau, man.
That's
They
right.
worse than fucking Esau, man.
Man. You talking about a
I can't
double-minded
wait till it
man?
happens. There's more to that, brother. Go ahead, brother.
As if a man did flee from a lion. That's what that was saying about that.
Right, Elder
like
Brown
to see
told me
that-
the story.
that shark.
He said he
You know,
escaped the
those
flood.
don't play.
He got alligator.
And the alligator met him.
Death row, goddamn.
And the
What the
bear,
fucking alligator? How the fuck you get up to the fucking northeast? Ain't no swamps in New York, man.
They
This
get
is
the
truly
basins.
prophecy, man.
that's right.
All right, this is truly prophecy. The scriptures say wild animals should change their place, man. We had alligators in Chicago last year, 2 years ago. Now you got alligators in fucking New York. This shit.
Yeah,
You
and
can't
one
tell
is
it's the Lord, man.
right. To go in your fucking basement, you going down in your basement thinking, oh shit, my basement flooded, and fucking
That's some Stephen King shit.
fucking
I was saying he seen some alligators, one in Chicago River, some shit.
So we had at the lake Humboldt Park. We had alligators over there. There was one they had to shut down the whole park that put let
yeah,
nobody
he
drive
was
through the park.
he was 5 feet long.
Yeah, that should make national news.
But it's more to that, brother.
And that's just for the record. What's been on the screen is that dolphin driving. Yeah, he on the street.
Yeah, he just cruising on down the street, man.
He's like, damn, I never been over here before.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, you get that much water. Remember now, you got these animals that's in these damn zoos and whatnot. They gonna be able to get loose too.
Yeah, that's coming too, man.
I showed him a clip for that. Well, in India, the lions. They said the lions huddled together, and then they went out and attacked. Like they got and made a
Like they
plan.
made a plan.
Oh,
Like they was like, go.
Okay.
That's nothing.
Yeah,
They just start mauling people.
Yeah, all over.
Great.
Niggas was scattering, man. Them lions was just fucking them up.
Esau no, because in Australia what they did, they would have killed all the fucking animals at the shelter. They said because somebody's gonna come and let them out. They're not gonna do that here. They can get too much eyes over there. So somebody's gonna go let these motherfuckers out. The water gonna go rise and get out. The Lord prophecy is being fulfilled.
That's it, man.
They literally wouldn't have killed all them fucking animals. They said somebody's gonna let them out.
So basically, you made them have a little life of servitude, as fucking slaves behind cages and not free, and charging the admission to see them, and then you go kill them. Yeah, so you got to pay for that shit, man. You got some more, brothers.
It says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and laid his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him.
Damn, well, he got bit by a serpent, a big ass serpent, right? And you know, and he was an older guy, but he was a 200+ pound man. So that means that had to be at least 1,000 pounds. That the thing, they said the thing was somewhere between 10 and 15 feet long, man.
It's alligator?
Yeah.
And then it said right here that the wife saw it.
Yeah, she saw it happen.
So now she
was trying to help him, and then he got so fucked up that it pulled him underwater and finished him.
Yeah,
they grab you and they drown you, or they try to tear something off.
And they spin you and they take you down. They like the apostles say, take them to deeper water.
I just watched a dude, a jiu-jitsu chick get bit by an alligator, and they clamped on her. And when it started rolling, she was rolling with it. And that's how she got away with it. All right.
Walking in the flood water.
Goddamn alligator. That shit crazy.
Wife
But here's something that Esau won't be able to say anymore. This is Psalm 73:5. It says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." They can't say that no more.
In the middle of
it. Verse 6. Therefore, pride compassed them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. The violence still covered them as a garment, man. But Esau and his problems they used to be, man.
Can I finish this something? This back in 2 and 6. Shall not all this take up a parable against them, and a taunting proverb against them, to say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, how long? And to him that lays himself in thick clay. All right, your debt-based system, you fuck the world up with that, all right? The central banking system destroyed the whole planet, man. That is oppressive, all right? Because as a free country, if you don't get down with their system, they don't allow you to do business. They threatening Afghanistan. They saying, look, if they don't honor, they got billions of dollars in the central banking system, but if they don't honor their new regime, they're not going to let them get that money. All right, they're oppressive, right? So the world is seeing that. It says, what? Should they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and the weight that shall vex thee. And thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So you got to pay for that, man. Like Elder Malcolm said that. Well, he read it. It's quote. He's reading Psalms, but as Elder Malcolm read, and look, man, that violence covered you, and now you got to pay for that violence. And these heathens know it, and Esau know that they're despised in the eyes of these heathens, man. That's why he said that so-called Negro was the face of neutrality, man. Esau know he's fucked the world up. He knows the world is pissed off at him. That's why they got that new phrase, that white guilt, man. Mm-hmm. It's a rap, man. You made your image as Satan made himself as angel of light, but now your image is being tainted. That shameful spewing is on your ass. That's what you said, right? That's it. I ain't even catch what you said, but it just hit me when I said that shameful spewing on your ass, man. Woo!
Damn,
it was feel good being
because we've been waiting for this for over 3, 4, 5,000 years. We've been waiting for this for the beginning. We've been waiting for it to be
1:6.
That's right. How long, Lord? You know what I'm saying? Back to Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? They were ready with at the time of Acts when Yahushua came back on the scene. It was like this at this time, and every time I see it, it's like if they had guns, they would have been like, at this time, Lord, are we about to go ahead and load everything up right now, Lord? They were taking their swords, they were taking sharp, you know what I'm saying? They was ready.
Yeah.
They were saying up there, saying like checking the bow and arrow, like which is ready.
Yeah, he told another brother, hey, he's back.
I've been yelling around this shit, yo.
It's time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So right now we see all the hell that's going on, and that's to Jake. All right, and what we're going through as men of the Lord, let alone our people collectively, let alone the world. Contrary to everybody else's opinions, even though we cuss out the heathens and we fuss and cuss a lot, those heathens, like you said earlier, that's our property. We actually love them. We want the world in order. We love the trees. We love the bees. We matter of fact, I was talking to my friend earlier about fireflies and how we used to see a jillion of them. And as soon as dust came out, motherfucking kids want to go outside to do what? To go lay down and look or run around and see the goddamn fireflies play, man. Come on.
You can't do that no more.
Hey,
Come
look,
on, bro.
Today I saw two things you don't see much anymore. I saw a grasshopper that was probably about a good 4 inches long, and I saw a big ass monarch butterfly. You know, that's
rare.
Very rare.
Yeah.
And
it used to be
when I was
all
a
around.
kid, you were too many to count.
Yes.
And now you don't see them running.
You're right. There used to be a lot of dragonflies all the time, even playing softball back in the day. You can get irritated because we trying to play and these motherfuckers come around. You ain't don't see them. You see one maybe a season.
I had to go bird watching shit damn dragonfly. That was mad.
All right. So I'm backing up in that for Becca because you said they shedded a lot of blood, man. This Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery.
You wake up in the morning, as soon as you turn on the radio, the TV, you go walk outside, you see the bus with the goddamn Jake on it with the goddamn facial breathing apparatus on the shit, where you know his ass suffocating,
destroying his immune system.
It was saying
fucking up his respiratory system.
As soon as I was at the goddamn bar doing karaoke. The bartender, somebody, I took the venom, and you don't, no matter what reason you can say no, you still should. Why? Because they believe the Esau narrative. You can't escape this shit, man. I can't even go relax at the goddamn bar without having to be inundated with pushing this shit on me.
Yeah, hey, that's you got it on the so-called ethnic radio stations in the commercials. They're pushing it like 41 North.
I don't listen to that shit.
Backs that ass up.
They put this on. The praise, the part of night, because they haven't departed. They still doing this to this day. Lying, robbing, murdering, shedding blood. They still doing this to this day. And now it's about to come back upon them.
Yeah.
They got to get that justice. You reap what you sow.
That's right, brother. He killed so many of his own people. Now his own people ready to raise up against him.
Oh, yeah.
But there's actually was 2 alligator attacks this season.
Damn.
There was one August 23rd. Then there was one in Ida. So a 60-year-old man was seriously injured by alligator attack in Fort Myers, South Fort Myers. And then of course the alligator attack. It was in Louisiana.
Yeah.
The man in the area flooded by Ida that was killed in his basement. Yeah. It said was missing and presumed dead after an alligator attacked him on Monday in the area that was. Wait a minute, this is a different one. It's 3. Because the other dude got attacked in his basement, and his wife saw it.
Yeah, so
You know, it's white witnesses. So God,
That
the one that y'all about
what's
shooting
that
out
movie
shot.
the alligator started?
Crawl.
That movie was good. Crawl. It was about the crawl space, and it was in Florida. It was a hurricane in Florida. Yeah, and you know, Florida, they got 15-foot gators in Florida. They got some 15-foot gators in there, man. Lots of them.
Florida Gators. That's what it's called. They didn't name it for that. And for the record, that's payback. That's righteous judgment. Because guess what Esau did to us? They used to give our babies and our Israelite children and call it alligator bait, right? And so now the Mosiah is making that come back. The Mosiah said, "Make sure
Even
you're
destroying the gators themselves.
That's right.
They had a whole economic system of making alligator boots, shoes, and wallets.
Mhm.
So the alligator give you back what you did to his brother. He's like, man, you made shoes out of my brother, nigga.
Oh man, that was a big thing in the 70s.
In the 70s, going way back before that.
Yeah, you know, some eel-skin shoes, some gators. Why were we talking about some gators?
But that's what they did. They will put the little baby, like I got it on the screen right here, and they say the little licorice drop, all right? They called our little so-called Hebrew babies licorice drops. They'll go ahead and put them near a waterbed, and then the alligator will come on out and kill the little Jake, and then they'll club the alligator, and then they'll go take the alligator and make, like the elder said, make alligator purses, the shoes, the belts, the hats, and so forth. But they use that as alligator bait. You're going to use the Israelite.
Chicken, you could have used a turkey, you could have anything. You want to use the fucking Israelite.
No. Hey, don't forget the crying. They smack the kid and make it stop crying. That's what drew it out. The alligators got used to hearing the kids.
Well,
and
you gonna
knew
get-
that it was time.
It ain't even started yet.
They use it to bait them. What they do is they do the distress and they simulate the baby paddling in the water to get the bigger. I just seen that shit.
Yeah, because
What they do is they put the cry. They mimic somebody like a baby crying in distress, splashing in the water.
So since they use the babies now, they make that sound and shit.
Yeah, they do the distress.
Wow.
I was watching Swamp People just the other day.
What's it called,
Swamp People, they did it. Yeah, what they do is they make a distress call and then they tap the water like a baby would, and that attracts like the big bull gators because they'll come little by little.
So that means
the
alligators still know what's fucking
It's in that DNA.
Right.
So they know right when they tap in the water.
Oh, they smoke
They
baby.
hear distress noises and whatnot.
And since they don't have emotions like we have emotions, that's just food to them.
Right.
All right. It's like it's a rabbit, it's a damn turtle, it's a baby. All the same shit to them.
You know, Big Aki can test this. It's like you got some fish that are like hunters. Period. Like big mouth bass and stuff like that. They got natural instincts. They will not be hungry, but you can trick the bait a little bit away.
Bite
And
anyway.
they'll bite it anyway.
Hell, they got them alligator snapping turtles, man.
Right.
I got bit by one of them damn alligator turtles when I was a kid, man. I was fast, but I felt that pain and that pressure though. Because I remember it was a damn milk crate, and I ended up killing them with the milk crate, man. But yeah, but nevertheless though, man, he bit the shit out of me, man. That shit hurt like a
And
motherfucker.
if he would have got a clean bite, he would have
Man, he could have took my finger off.
Because they got
That damn
people
alligator
got bit like that.
Man,
They
that
didn't
alligator,
lose limbs.
that snapper turtle ain't no fucking
Yeah,
joke.
snapper turtle make you lose limbs. Yeah.
I got a precept for you. Wisdom Solomon 5:17. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies.
That's it.
So Lord turned these animals up, man. It was a chariot that popped up. I forget the city. But it was one chariot that, and the crows was going crazy. There's a bunch of crows flying. A bunch of crows. Then the chariots popped up in formation like birds, man. The Lord bring these animals out to get you.
Well, he said it.
Leviathan is coming soon.
I was just about to mention. He not going to come until he here because he already tore a sub in 3. All right.
Yeah.
It's a.
They can't explain that.
They saw a picture.
Taiwanese sub.
How can you have a sub torn in 3 parts?
Yep, it was a Taiwanese sub.
Torn in 3 parts. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it was from Taiwan. But yeah, they something tore a submarine into 3 pieces.
So I remember you watch. Hey, I remember you showed that picture with that creature swimming inside that submarine.
Right. Yeah, that's You know, I mean, it could have been a different creature too, because for the record, there's a lot of creatures that we don't have a clue
ones
about.
we see, man. Look, that hawk. I've seen them quite a few times now, man. That hawk is big as fuck, man. You know how big the street lights are, right? You know when they are close.
Right.
That damn hawk is about as big as that damn street light, man. All right, because I saw him twice. I saw him yesterday and the day before. Man. Both days we believe in jiu-jitsu, and we saw me and Big Eye. I mean, me and the Giant. We saw him when he was sitting on the light pole, and then he stood up and he walked sideways, and all of a sudden he went down and he grabbed something that flew off. We saw him hunt, man.
Somebody dog.
And that, I know, right?
Now, probably was a rat or a squirrel or something, but nevertheless, something became lunch.
That's right.
Right.
It was actually not Taiwan, it was Indonesian. It says
okay.
rescuers have discovered the missing Indonesian's Navy submarine broken into 3 parts deep in the waters off the coast of Indonesia. And to let you know it's not blown apart, they would have said it got blown up. They said it was torn.
It was torn in 3 pieces,
right?
man.
And it
how does that not major news? Because it could be, but they crowd the news with the bullshit, with the lies,
Right.
and they're not talking about this. And then because they had a damn big funeral and what they call a memorial thing for all the sailors and the families of the sailors that were on the damn ship, because everybody on the ship died.
Yep, broken into 3. It said torn apart into 3
If it
sections.
torn them apart, then that means they were in the water. They got fucking eaten.
Hey, when you watch
He
the
opened up a bag of candy. He was like, "Oh shit!" He said, "The rainbow in this motherfucker."
Or the pants, you know, the pants thing.
Right.
Somebody ordered it.
Damn.
Can't eat just one. When you watch that movie Cloverfield, the spirit, because I was just watching that last night before I went to sleep. Cloverfield going into Leviathan, and they show you when he came out the ocean by New York. He smacked he hit the Statue of Liberty and ripped the head off. But then when you watch the movie, the fucking Leviathan kids, the beast kids, was on him.
Yeah,
he was sending kids off to eat the rest of the motherfucking.
The little right, they were running around.
They was running around feasting on the people.
Right.
You know, so it will show you that they know because it came out the water. And what it was doing, it toppled over a ship. The first thing it did was it toppled over a tanker that was in the it was in the ocean.
Titanic.
Which show you, which proved that they know what it is, because when you watch that movie, when shit they can do to it, even at the end, it didn't tow through the whole city.
Yeah, they were military when they were shooting at it.
They let go of New York. Yeah, nah.
That's that joke.
They kept shooting. It wasn't doing nothing to it. It didn't matter. It couldn't kill a kid. It couldn't kill nothing. Man, that shit was wrong. The shit was wrong. Just watch
what we've been waiting for, brother. This is what we've been waiting for. It's finally here.
That's it.
It's about to get
Can we Hebrews 10? Hebrews 10. Let me just pull it out. This Hebrews 10 and verse. I'm just charged.
And we all are,
brother. We all are, brother.
This Hebrews 10 and 36. For you have need of patience, that after you have done the will of the Most High, you may have received the promise. And for one, starting with our apostles, the elders, man, that really put in work 30 plus years. Right. They didn't put that work in. Now it's been a thing of patience, man. And we finally here. Now we have to receive of our promise, man. These are things we've been looking forward to. Now we shall well understand. Now we well understand the Lord is visiting this place that He made, man. We see the uprising, we see the earthquakes, and then the rest of the signs that we're going into, man. This is fucking it. The crash of dollar is here, which means the Marcus Aurelius is next, man.
Yep.
This is it, man. This is fucking it.
That's it, bro. And if you're not excited, that means you're wicked. Because right now, when we see all this stuff, and no matter what we're going through personally in our own, worlds today, I have hope. I got extreme hope because I see the fall of my enemy right around me, man. All right, I'm seeing Biden look like a goddamn paraplegic by the mouth. He's saying the most dumbest things. He's
said thank you.
And for no one, now let that would have been Barack Obama, even though we know he's not Israelite. They would have been got rid of his ass. You know what I'm saying? If Trump was like that, they would have. You know what I'm saying?
He's shaming America.
And that's what all the major news, like Australia, going heavy. They got Sky News.
The comedians are having a field day on this one.
This shit is hilarious.
Right, they doing skits a biting and it's just motherfucker sleeping.
Sleepy Joe. That's call him Sleepy Joe.
They call him Sleeping Joe for real now.
That nigga fell asleep on the new prime minister of Israel. The nigga laughed and said, "Look forward to many years." He laughed at him, man. Look forward to many years to doing business with you, nigga. Laughing at your sleep ass.
Part of the new death tax is going to be reform on them actually being more tyrannical. So now there was ways going around when you receive shit. Now they're going to tax that. They're going to tax the worth of the actual shit that you're going to receive on both ends. So Esau's planning on banking on there being mass death, man. That tax reform is going to stir up a lot of these rich, man, because basically they're going to have people lobbying on their behalf because they're going to lose. They're basically going to lose a large chunk of the shit that they get before they even get it, which is part of the new death tax.
Now that you said that, I saw a video.
Yeah,
I got it. Read it. I'm gonna bring it out. But I saw a video where the chick was going in on the how America's in debt and that how everyone has a birth certificate and a social security number, and that if you get rid of basically if you get rid of the of all these people, it makes your debt go away. So that could be the reason why certain things are happening, why so many people are dying, is because every time someone dies, that's one debt that they don't have to pay.
Right.
Because your death clears the debt.
This
So I'm like,
they're
damn.
supposed to, but not when you.
Saturday morning, I woke up to the news story where they were talking about the security boxes, where now J.P. Morgan, if you haven't checked the security box in 6 months, they're basically doing away with it because it was a guy that
What?
had these specific.
You know how much shit you can have in a security box?
Check this out. Check this out.
There's people who won't check their security box for a couple of years. Why? I got a bank account there. That security box there, I don't want to fuck with it because something's in there that I don't want.
That's why they have two key security.
Basically tells them that since they can't make money off, so they can't profit off the box, that basically they can have a third party handle it. So what happened is this dude had a bunch of valuables that his family.
I was gonna say you got
to
more
check the
bonds
box
and shit in
every
there,
6
man.
months. And one time he went and they're like, "Are you sure that those aren't keys for another bank?" And he's like, "Another bank? I've been with you guys for 30. What do you mean another bank? I've been loyal to you." They're like, "No." They gave him this whole runaround. Then they said that it was a company from Texas. Point being is that when all these jakes did that, the FDIC insured and all that, that was only for your deposit. It had shit to do with the box. So since they can't profit off your safe deposit boxes, they're not charging you services to have it. Most of them, what they're doing is really they're just taking them in the hope that people ain't going to check them anymore.
They just running through your shit.
Run your shit.
So the damn bank, so the manager in on this shit.
The banking.
Them niggas got deeds in them shit, bonds.
Gold,
Motherfuckers used to keep
jewels.
Motherfuckers used to keep stocks, bonds, bearer bonds, shit like that.
They had their passports.
You could have some shit in there that, like you said, you forgot about it for 20, 25 years, 30 years.
But it was valuable as fuck, which is why you put it in there.
Exactly. And now this shit could have quadruples in fucking value.
Yes.
And now you want to pull it out and cash it in, and they talking about cash what?
Or they might be near death and decide they want to pass it on as heirlooms to their kids or their grandkids or some shit. And now I go to my fucking box and you didn't jack my shit.
No, you should have read the small print.
Look,
You should have read the small fine print at the bottom. You should have read that.
They used to do that though back in the day. They used to buy
That
stocks
shit is
and bonds. They
crazy.
used to buy stocks and bonds for kids when they was born and put it away. And by the time the kid was 21, 22, and
Give
ready
it
to
to
go
them
to
for
college,
that, yeah.
they get to him, and all the colleges paid. This motherfucker took $100, $150, and the barrel bond to be worth like $35 or $35,000 by the time the kid is ready to go to college.
Esau fucking thief.
I mean, he's
the thief comes not to do nothing but steal, kill, and destroy.
Hell
It's
yeah.
the whole MO. It's Esau MO.
Man, if that information,
I'll send you the story.
How is that not? Bring it out, brother. I want to hear this
Bring
shit.
that story up.
Because how is that not mainstream media, man?
Hey.
Bring that scripture out there. Bring that story out.
Esau, stick up, nigga.
This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
That's
To
right.
turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widow may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. And this is what they've been doing, like y'all saying, man. Esau got to pay for all his wicked decrees he put because the Lord is not dealing with none of this. He turned things upside down and made it his own way and pushing it. And that's out of order. He completely destroyed everything. The covenant, the laws of the land, everything is defiled by this devil. He got to go. He's the cancer of the earth.
That's it.
Damn pus-filled sore. Bring it out, brother.
No, I got the video of Jake wants to bring it up.
Which article you wanted? You wanted the J.P. Morgan or the first one you mentioned?
Whichever one he's talking
All
about.
right, bring the article up.
All right, so the one story that the actual investigators, I can post a link to it. It's a story they actually, because they had to go back and forth a bunch of months, and the story that I had on deck was that Forbes, and really it says the fucking title of it says death and taxes are ahead.
Death and taxes, huh?
Give me 1 second.
Well, yeah, man, I remember that. They used to do that. They buy them stocks and bonds when a kid was
My dad used to do that all the time, and he would buy treasury bonds and to let them mature, and then when needed, give them to my sister. He really gave them to my sister. It was for my sister because we only got 1 or 2 in our lifetime. My sister got a whole shitload of wicked ass. And did you find it yet? Well, while he's finding it, but that's that picture right here of the Leviathan. While he's looking for that right here.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just.
And it's bigger than a damn sub.
And this probably a baby.
And that's probably a baby.
Yeah, it's probably a baby. That's not even, and it might not even be Leviathan. It could be one of another major creatures because Esau hasn't even got
it is. The Lord created it.
Yep.
And it's never been seen before until now.
Has recently surfaced from the dark depths of the web, and it has the internet community buzzing.
But they know.
It seems to be a picture of a lone solitary self traveling through the ocean, and it's completely unaware of the fact that this sea creature is following you. It's hard to make out exactly what it is, but it seems to have multiple limbs, and it is massive. Could this be one of the 86% of creatures unknown in the ocean? Could this creature have been the target of the recent 40,000-pound bomb set off in the Bermuda Triangle by the U.S. government?
And speaking of Bermuda Triangle, that might be where the breeding ground of Leviathan and what they trying to, which why so many ships and so many planes disappear. You know what I'm saying? Because according to the Leviathan, he can breathe out fire, tempest out of his mouth. So he can come up to the surface and knock shit down out of the sky. He can go down and say, "See, this area, you can't come over here." All right. And so now they throwing it. They drop a 20-some billion megaton bomb over there. Which first of all fucks up the ecosystem. That shit's not going to just stay over there. It's going to irradiate radiation and all kind of shit. But guess what? The Lord said that you can't do nothing to it. It's not no weapon that you got can hurt Leviathan. Come on, bro. And that's in Job, the 41st chapter.
They showed you that in the Godzilla movie. They knew.
I think
they knew it in the ocean.
Yeah.
And he dipped off.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the death tax article is from Forbes, and literally it says death and taxes are ahead. But it says a controversial provision of President Biden's tax overhaul proposal would cost families billions of dollars in additional taxes. It says it's the proposed shift from a step-up basis to a carryover basis. So the carryover basis means now anybody going to touch that money was going to receive all those taxes before even receiving it. So kind of like right now when you get gifted a car, you have to pay a tax, to get the fucking car, whatever. Basically the same thing. It says in addition, death and gift would be deemed transactions, so heirs would face massive tax bills.
Damn.
It says these changes, though seemingly small, would add up to enormous changes and huge amounts of additional government revenue.
They killed the Rolo.
And then basically it goes into the detail about the amounts.
They killed the Rolo.
And I also sent the Ruby the story of the safety deposit box, but they had to go back and forth investigating to see who had whether it was the bank that had it removed. But they basically first they told her at the bank that that key wasn't for any box that they had to try any other bank that they had. Then they finally told her that it might be in Texas. So they kept trying to locate the Texas. Then there's a capped amount that even the bank insures that you have in there, which is only like 50,000. So like if you have anything more valuable in there,
Right.
they would just buy you out. Because there's some people that since they couldn't find the box would have to get the payout. And
Damn,
the
so you
shit
can
would be
have
more
millions,
valuable. Right.
and they just give you 50K.
Yeah, that's the max that they would cap.
That's different trust in the Esau shit.
Yeah, the FDIC used to have that $100,000.
Wow.
But that's for deposits into the bank.
Right. Not to that at all.
So they didn't fix. So they just came up with this scheme that they
Said anybody that has
they realized that their paperwork, the insurance did not cover the safety deposit box.
Right.
And the safety deposit, and you can have the valuables in your safety deposit box
Could be more
that actually
valuable.
surpasses what you have in your bank
That's
account.
usually what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, but even
Exactly.
but just for the record though, you can have you can have $400 million in your bank account. Only 250,000 is guaranteed to be insured. So if you have less than 50, that don't mean you're going to be insured for that 50. It's up to. They said you're insured up to 250,000. So if you got $50,000 in the bank, they can say, look, we can't give you the 50. Well, I'm gonna give you 20, or I'm gonna give you 15, and there's nothing you can do about it because they said it
Yeah, they
in the
probably
fine
give
print.
you, they gonna probably give you half or less.
That guarantee already.
They probably gonna give you half or less.
It's usually less than half. Because see, what happened with Greeks, when the Greek, there was a run on Greek banks, and the Greek economy collapsed a couple of years ago. There are people who had $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in the bank, and they were even getting half. They were getting less than half. They was getting only, and then they was only getting access to some of it. And it still wasn't saying no, you can't. They was prohibiting you. There's certain limits that you can even withdraw. So say you got $20,000, and now that they said, well, we're gonna insure 10,000, but at the same time, you only can pull out 1,000.
Man, run that 10 and 1 back, that unrighteous decree. Somebody get that Sirach 10 and 8.
Fucking wicked ass.
That's some bullshit,
Man,
man.
we could teach on that all the time. Man.
That's some straight bullshit.
Because they didn't even have a loop. We was talking about that. They didn't even have enough of a printed loop. If everybody stepped to the bank and wanted their loop, they didn't have enough printed currency to even pay it all out.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we saw that. We also saw that when Germany asked for its
Exactly.
gold back.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
it's like, yeah, you know what about that gold?
Right, and then China as well. And China got that tungsten.
It's like, wait a
they
minute.
was like, this shit. The top of it is gold. Everything underneath it is. What the fuck? What the fuck's going on?
That's it. They were.
Oh, my bad. I sent you the wrong. My bad. That was actually supposed to go to Bob one.
I sent you the wrong shit. That's supposed to be Australia shit. My bad. I sent you the wrong one.
It's Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Man, you sit there, work all your life to make your money. You put your money in the bank, which the government and the banks and all society say this is where you're supposed to put your fucking money. And you go put it up in there, and now all your life savings, all that hard work that you work for, and it's obliterated and going in a puff of a goddamn pen stroke.
You want to know
Key of
what?
a goddamn
Freeze
conversion.
your account. Don't let you get your shit in.
You know what? It ain't even about. It wasn't even about the loop because of the fact that, like I said, guys was buying stocks and companies. They were opening up. Like I remember 87, 88 when Gates went public. I remember the Newsweek article where he was worth $350 million, and I was sitting on a $5,000 cashier check. I could have dropped $5,000 in Microsoft when he first went public. I'd had them bonds sitting up there now.
Look, you wouldn't be in this truth.
Exactly. And I understand that.
You
But
have a big ass house on the lakefront in Evanston, married to a big booty Jewish bitch. Talking about some fuck. Look at them niggas. You wouldn't even been saying that.
In a situation like that, you be saying, "Well, I ain't even worried about this. Fuck it. Just let me get my bonds. I can get my stocks. That my initial stocks.
Hey,
cash those out."
One of my favorite clients, man, because I'm gonna make him an overseer in the kingdom. Yahweh Rakazah. He invested in Microsoft early on, and he was sitting pretty.
No shit.
He invested in Microsoft. That's how he made his money.
Get the fuck.
And he's a venture capitalist. So basically, people come up with inventions and different ideas, and they go to guys like him to put the money up.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's what he would do.
I remember. I was working downtown.
No, you had a great idea. He would, he would look at it and decide how many millions or how much money he gonna put behind it. Right.
Right.
He became one of them guys.
I'm gonna finish this last verse.
Go ahead, bro.
To turn aside the needy from judgment, to take and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widow may be their prey, and they may rob the fatherless. Like y'all saying with the banks, they robbing people, man. And they robbing our people.
Well, they robbing you with interest already.
Yeah.
Right. With usury, which is completely and totally off. And now they doing shit like this.
But the only reason that they up in arms about it on some level is because now, like we used to say all the time, they at least know what the fuck they doing. It's Joe Sixpack that was running around here with that white Pete that was going on, and now all of a sudden he's down there. I feel to be a nigga.
Right, cause he wasn't concerned when the shit actually was happening.
Exactly.
He concerned with now the shit hits his face.
That's it. Like the opioid epidemic, same thing.
Yeah, Esau's concerned now because the middle class is the numbers have been decimated, and then the middle class is doing all right, ain't doing all right no more.
That's right.
They worry,
That's right. Even the lower upper class is too. From the lower upper class on down. If you are not in the high upper class, I'm talking about.
Yeah. So that higher upper middle class, because the mid lower middle class and the lower middle class, they working poor now.
I witnessed,
that's what's happening.
So I witnessed Esau firsthand destroying the Jake middle class, because I was in it was a fall of '91, going my sophomore year, it's going to the year '92, and we was in electrician class, and they took us out of electrician class and moved us to the gym, and that's when they started taking out that wood shop and all those trades programs.
Yeah.
Out of Jake High School. That was by design. I witnessed.
Yeah. That was all by design.
Yeah,
they took all that out. Yeah.
Yeah, because Jake would get those different trades. And they graduate high school and they could set up their own business. Or they go to work for those.
Yeah, that's how my cousin's a carpenter, and he became a very well known, was very good at it.
There was cats that was coming out.
And he went to CBS.
Yeah.
Wood shop and carpentry. That's what
I knew cats that came out of CBS and cats that was coming out of Dunbar Auto Shop or Automotive Shop. Flat mechanics, man. I mean, pull engines, trains, the whole lick.
And they used to have home economics and goddamn shit. That's why these niggas ain't got know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? You half these bitches can't cook. Like, don't get me started with bitches anyway. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I fed me and my brother today, man, because we have bitches to cook for us. Right. Yeah, it is. That happens all the time. Yeah.
Shit happens,
Oh man.
Right. I mean, I would, announce that I'm looking for a wife, but I don't want to do that. Because it ain't like,
it's pretty sad because
I was ready to serve you on your. Oh my goodness! They get ready to serve you right away. They get ready to jump.
Well, I know one
They
thing.
get ready to jump over themselves.
One of my little lady friends was like, so she likes to cook. If you're interested, put the eyeballs on. But only on mine when we ain't got all these other brothers around, right?
Eyeballs is a big old idiot.
Oh man, then everybody like, no eyeballs for me. Those eyeballs for me.
They've been praying for that.
They got them little voodoo pins, they been sticking down. We gonna get rid of that girl.
But it's really sad, man, and that's why we are so happy because we can see the end, the light at the end of the goddamn fucking tunnel, man. And this tunnel is the valley of the shadow, of great, which is America. All right, Babylon the Great. And that light at the end of the tunnel is the coming of Yahweh.
Esau sees it. That's why he's trying to reverse the abortion in certain states where he has low birth levels. That's why they're pushing that shit up. Argentina,
they got low birth levels wherever they are.
That's right.
But that's what they're trying to encourage what they're doing in Texas around those Edomite states, because Argentina just got done celebrating that they legalized abortion. So it ain't for you Jakes, man. It's Esau seeing his numbers because he just got done doing the census. And even though Jake, don't open the door, even his numbers let him know that he doesn't have the numbers.
He's done.
Yep.
Yeah. Because we did that video like a year ago. That more of them dying faster than they're being born. It's over for the so-called.
That's right. He sees it.
So ain't really nothing left for him to do, like once again, except to bring out his sword and get carnal, bring out that to become Revelation 6 and 4, to use his gift that he was given, man.
But we've been saying this for years now, Elder. We said that sooner or later they're going to get rid of these little horns. They're going to turn into these Texas Longhorns. Now this is what they get ready to do.
Hey,
Let's bring it back on your
This is the book of Revelation.
Wow.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
That's the other Malcolm says. What's left of Esau, man? You know he ain't got no time. He's gonna bring that sword out. He's gonna get to work, man. He's gonna take the 2/3 that gotta go. Right? He's gonna fuck up the heathens that gotta get fucked up. Fuck up the zone that gotta get fucked up. And then warfare
He get ready to fuck up a lot of you women.
Oh,
A lot of
yeah.
you women get ready to get thrown on the front lines and get rifles thrown in your hands, and you're gonna get trodden down like the mine street, man.
With
So,
no train.
It's gonna be like a hot knife through butter.
With
You
no
can just
train.
know.
That's right.
I have a precept.
Go ahead.
Okay, come on. Isaiah 10, verse 5. O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. Right? So Esau Edom is the Lord's sword. He's using Esau to bring this fire, the sword upon the nation of Israel, 2/3. I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets.
Right.
I watched the elders. The elders
Hey, don't drop that pipe. Go to verse 12.
So I'm watching the elders one, and Elder Gabar said, Kamal Harris said that you better shop for Christmas early.
Yeah. I saw them sit down.
That's funny that she said that. Someone else said that before she did.
Yeah.
They were talking about basically, cancel culture, and guess what? Christians getting ready to get canceled.
That's right.
Hey, Rapaya, hit that verse 12.
This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his work, his whole work upon the Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria.
There you go, man. So the Lord is going to take. Hey, look, Esau, you only got a little time left to keep fucking with Jake. And the Lord's going to take that sword off us and put it on you, man.
And the curses been translated. The curses have been translated,
I gotta
man.
pull that one
It's
up.
just building up.
Yeah.
All right, like Esau wearing the curses like a tight fit, man.
You get attacked
Like
down.
the blood.
Yeah, right. Esau get. Hell, my client just got hit by a damn car on Walton and Rush, man, in front of Christian Dior.
Damn.
All right, dislocated his shoulder. So yeah, and he's mad as fuck. Some dude in the damn some Jake in a fucking one of them high speed expensive ass Camaros, doing some dumb shit, showing off.
Yep.
Jumped the curb, flew up on the sidewalk.
That's straight vintage there. I got a scripture. This is what's getting ready to happen now. This is Joshua back in 10:24. And it came to pass when they brought out those kings unto Joshua.
Yes.
Joshua called for all the men of Israel and said unto the captains of the men of war, which went with him, come near, put your feet upon the necks of these
Oh, I love this
kings.
scripture.
Yep.
And they came near and put their feet upon the necks of them. This is, look, we done wrote, hopefully, being part of the hopeful elect. We done rotated in and out of cold and all these other things. Looking forward to this.
We say put his foot on his neck.
What Elder Malcolm used to quote all the time is the one thing he wanted to see is be able to see the downfall of his enemies. We're seeing it. We're in the midst of this.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it, man. To look, I don't even get mad. I got so many Ishmaelites that I have to work with that they're getting claimed like 40 going north. It's like, man, I'm
Because you don't know how to level
man,
thinking, man. You don't
man.
have level thinking.
I'm gonna do a fucking Watusi on some of these motherfuckers.
But since it's called Fury time, it's judgment time now. There's somebody real quick. Give me Ezekiel 7, Baba Kushah, and I got Isaiah 34, and this is 1 and 2. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations.
That's right.
And his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Man, the Lord gonna let them rot and smell.
Exactly.
And then the birds are gonna come on there and feast on that shit.
This is Isaiah 58:10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of his wicked. The wicked, so that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a God that judgeth in the earth. And this is part of my prayer daily now.
That's it.
Hallelujah.
Just added into my prayer.
That's it. I got a lamb. I got a lamb
Wash
on
my
that
feet in the blood of my enemies, man.
Let my dog drink.
All gonna lick up the same.
This is Psalms 92 and 11. Mine eye also shall see my desire on mine enemies.
All you people that fuck with my channels, got strikes and shit on them, and fuck with brothers' channels. Yeah.
And mine ears
the
shall
Lord, boy.
Yeah.
And mine ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. So the Lord's going to make it public. That's the reason why he's showing. That's why Polite went down publicly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, what you accused us of?
Exactly.
Yeah, he got caught with his own devices, man. And I pray the same thing for Haman Malone, man.
That's right. That's right.
That his punishment be public, man. Definitely, he like get fucking beheaded in the car accident or some shit.
That's perfect.
The whole world know about it.
Man, I hope it happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. All right, but this
Right,
is
his
time.
candle's still on his head.
Right.
Did somebody get the Ezekiel 7?
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Starting 1.
Yes, sir.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai power unto the land of Israel. The end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and I will recompense upon thee all thy abominations.
Oh, you gotta pay the price.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
Keep going.
Brown.
And my eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways.
So you niggas that had a chance to repent, because it started up saying to Israel, man.
Uh-huh.
You know, so you niggas had a chance to repent, man. Soon that door's gonna close, so seeking the Lord while he may be found.
That's it.
So it's not gonna happen. You're gonna die the death of the uncircumcised.
That's right.
Because this destruction is for Esau, Edom, and the Eagles.
All right,
But
you
you
want to join?
two-thirds, you want to be joined hand in hand with him, you're gonna be crushed through.
That's it. And he's not going to have no pity on the 2/3, and he's not going to have no pity on the heat.
That's what if you ain't have none on Israel, you definitely have
Definitely.
Lord, bring it out, boy. You come on, brother.
My brother.
Yeah, bring it out. Bring it out.
This is Jeremiah 25 and verse 29. It says, for lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished, ye shall not be unpunished.
That's
for
right.
I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth,
Come on.
saith the Lord of hosts.
Come on.
Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them their wicked
And that
to
word
the
plead
sword.
means bring a suit against you, bring chastising, rebuke, and judgment against you.
He'll hit you with that axe, that mark of death with that sword.
That's it.
7 inches deep. Both lights.
That's right. It says, he will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth, and the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth.
Come on, man. All over. All over. That's why in the book of Isaiah, he tells that Kawashai, the blood's going to come up to the horse's bridle, bro. And that's metaphoric.
You done with that, brother?
It says, they shall not be lamented, neither gathered. It says, nor buried,
they shall be as dung upon the ground.
Yeah, the Lord gonna let that shit reek.
Well,
And then that
being
same
as though-
chapter says the Lord began to do this with Israel. He said to make them drink the cup. It's
Right.
Surely drink.
Right,
You get
God.
that verse?
I mean, I started, but I could go further up.
Yeah, hit that one verse. Hit that one verse.
Okay.
I believe
49.
It says Jeremiah 25 and 15. It says, "For thus saith the Lord God of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, and made all the nations
What
to
verse
drink."
what?
I'm at verse 17.
No, let's go to 29.
Okay, Con. Verse 29, it says, "For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished, ye shall not be unpunished. For I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts."
That's it.
That's it. God, this is-
If the Lord finna fuck up 2/3 of his own people, how much more
Jeremiah
fucking need
25,
is, man?
God, like they gonna get a pass.
Right.
This is Psalms 149 and 5. Let the saints be joyful, be in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth,
Hallelujah.
and a two-edged sword in their hands, to execute vengeance
Come on, man.
upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This is the honor, have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. Somebody get Revelation 13.
That's an honor.
Bang,
This is honorable.
That's it. Hey, y'all remember that scene?
No, get Revelation 13 out of 10 first, then whatever you have.
In 12 Years a Slave, that scene when he read that scripture, ooh, it was so powerful, man.
No, you meant Birth of a Nation.
I'm sorry.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, Birth of a Nation.
I watched
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Can I bring out Psalm real quick?
Birth of a Nation, yeah.
Psalm 137.
He wanted that.
Yeah, whatever the elder that called for.
Revelation 13.
Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Man, that's gonna happen, man. You brought us over here on cargo slave ships. You took down the so-called Negroes.
Hold on. Ishmael sold us.
Yes.
Ham gathered us up.
Yes.
They led us into captivity.
Yes, yes, sir.
That's
All
not-
this,
that's
what one nation has not taken
I
part
want to make
of
sure.
our
I
story.
hate Ishmael and Ham. They don't get no pass.
No. Matter of fact, the Indonesians ain't getting the pass. The Taiwanese ain't getting the goddamn pass. The goddamn Uzbekistan, all the stands ain't getting no money. You know.
I'm like Michael Jordan. I took that shit personally.
That's it. That's it. All the stands getting fucked up. All the stands, all the ice, all the.
I like that. That's that song. That's that song. That's that Psalms 83. Psalm 83 says all the nations was
Confederate.
against us, man. So they all put their hand towards
They all
us being in
had.
this position that we in. They put their hand in.
Like
Yeah.
the Canaanite in South Africa is making money off selling tats like nooses and shit. He said, "Yeah, I know the history of." He gave a fake ass apology and shit, which I expect anyway. He'll fucking Hamite. Yeah, I know the history of the noose and stuff, but I'm still gonna sell it. I apologize, I'm still gonna sell it. He don't give a shit, man. But he don't supposed to give a shit. But he's Confederate with Esau.
They still selling. Hey, Ishmael still buying Israelites today from Liberia.
Yeah.
Liberia was set up by Esau
Yeah.
when they when they was basically abolishing slavery.
Marcus Garvey.
Esau set up Liberia for the Israelites. And what is Ishmael over there doing today? Ishmael's still catching them and fucking selling them, man. Who's over there? And who's over there trying to save them, man? Them fucking Hamites got militaries. They ain't fucking trying to stop it because they know the Liberia is full of Israelites. It's Israelites. They're all Israelites.
Yep, it's a hatred. I talked to Nigerians before. And there's a hatred between them and the actual Hamites. It's separate. And they know a lot of the West Africans know the Israelites, man. And the other Hamites hate them.
With the white people.
Yeah, they hate them because all the flavor and sauce that comes out of the continent of Africa is coming mainly from Nigeria and the surrounding countries, man. That's why we got fighters like Israel Adesanya, man, and
Usman.
Kamala Usman, man.
The bike.
Right, then what's the big dude, the heavyweight, in
Francis
in the garden.
They do that. They do that. That's how they were pointing us out in the first place, because it was a different flavor on us.
That's right. That's the day when your flavor became your curse.
That's it.
You know?
You want to finish that?
Back in Revelation 13, verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And that's what we patiently waiting for, man. We're waiting for our opportunity, man, to put our hands in the neck of our enemies, man. The Lord will give us that power, man. And the scriptures tell us that it's a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that troubled us, man. And boy, have these heathens troubled us. They still trouble us to this day. So payback is a bitch. The table's gonna turn on y'all heads.
That's right. We want to put them shackles on them and close that gate, man. And look at them through the gate.
That's right. And those neck rings of iron. See, but the yokes of iron. We
look through the gate as we walk their doors. So you on the gate, inside the gate, chained up, and you just watching your daughters get walked away.
And they're gonna be happy. The daughters gonna be happy because they're gonna know that they're not gonna be in the field. They're gonna be in the chambers, man. They're gonna be thrilled, bro. Oh no, so like, hey, so like, all my Edomite bitches, and even in house they'll have two. They still got slave days too.
Isaiah 14.
Go ahead, brother.
Look at Exodus chapter 21. Look at Exodus chapter 21, verse 24. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth. That's right. Hand for hand. That's right. Foot for foot. Burn for burning. Wound for wound. Right. Same thing they did to us, man. Having them damn yokes around the necks. We gonna have them upon their damn necks. They won't be able to fucking move.
That's right. That's right. And the one that was go to those alligators jacking them up. And the Lord, it's gonna be more of that. These animals are about to go get jiggy with you. The nature's gonna keep getting jiggy with you, and then one day the Lord's gonna change His righteous men from fishers to hunters.
That's why, like He said, Saint Vicky said earlier, how the animals change their places, man. Florida got 30-foot fucking pythons in it now, and they're not even indigenous to that land. So why are they? So because you only have the one predator, which was the alligator. All right, that was the number one predator there, but now you got two.
And sharks too. They got sharks off the oceans too.
I just want to say, because when y'all was going to the chains, brothers know I had a dreams or whatever. But if I could,
Go ahead, brother. We're gonna wrap it up after that.
So
whatever possible.
So it started off basically before I went to sleep. All right.
You had a dream before you went to sleep?
Yeah, no, the Lord was telling me, no. Well, before it's a whole deal that came with it, because before I went to sleep, the Lord was telling me, I want to show you something. He said, go to sleep, I want to show you something, And, I didn't want to go to sleep, but I ended up going to sleep. But when I went to sleep, it was dark. Everything was dark. And it was like I was in the field, and a big ass, I don't know if anybody watched Pacific Rim or something. Yeah. So, but it was a little one. It's like the robots and the people in it, but it was like a human. I would say it was about 20 feet tall, and it jumped out the sky, and it opened up, and he looked at me, and it was a line of people, and he got out, and he was smiling at me, and he looked at me, he said, "Look, I'm going to show you something." And then he looked at me, he turned to the people. Now, the scriptures talk about the tares in the wheat. So not only was it was clear looking Edomites that was in that line, it was Edomites that looked like Jake in that line too. And it was heathens in that line. It was just a line that went straight down me. As far as you can see, that line went straight down. He said, "Look, check this." He said, "Yes, welcome to hell." And he pointed and he went down the line. Chains. And chains just popped on him. Chains. He didn't put chains on him. He said chains, and they was just chains just popped up on him. Chains, like with authority. Chains. And I woke up to him saying, chains. And I woke up. He just kept going down the line. That shit was cold. Yeah, and I woke up. And when I woke up, it was like, damn, man, we finna have these motherfuckers in straight horrible captivity, man. Like, because them chains, when they looked at me,
and you caught, you done.
When they looked at me, They couldn't even look me in the fucking face.
Of course not.
They put their face to the ground.
Shame.
When they looked at me, when they looked at my face, when they looked at me, they put their head straight to the fucking ground. They couldn't even look at me.
That's right.
They couldn't even look at me.
Look at me. What the fuck you looking at?
You niggas
They weren't trying to run. They weren't trying to run. There wasn't no purpose to run. I didn't run. They weren't trying to run. They weren't trying to escape. They didn't have no power. Nothing.
All you niggas, man.
All right.
Man.
Hey, he's got the same thing on. Read your scripture and then jump down to 10.
Isaiah 14:2.
Yep.
This is Isaiah 14:2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's right. Jump down to 10.
It's Isaiah 10. And they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Hold on. You're Isaiah. Okay, let me go here then. I've actually got Revelation 10. My mistake. Revelation 14:10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture, unto the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
No chase, you gotta drink it straight.
Straight.
And you gotta remember it's double. Okay?
That's right.
That means all the shit that you put us through, you're gonna get double. All right? You'll get that double cup of goddamn it hanging, that double cup of goddamn beating, that double cup of goddamn slavery, that double cup of goddamn it everything.
Cup of losing your fucking
That's it. That's it.
The angels, and the Lamb.
Yeah.
What he said, Luke 19:27. Bring them here and slay them before me. That's what he's gonna be doing, man.
In the kingdom, you're gonna have masks over your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Iron muscles, heavy ass cast iron mask.
Hey, with spikes inwardly, you know.
Everything gonna have spikes in the fucking
Everything.
yolks.
Yep.
Rotten spikes on in their neck. They gonna have fucking iron shoes that's hot as hell. So
no slaves there, bro.
you shit, I'm gonna keep the spirit up. I'm gonna fuck them.
Hey, this Revelation 18:5. It says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquity. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she had filled to her double."
Ain't no way out of it, man.
Yeah.
Is that the scripture you had, Ariella?
No, this is First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 10. Says one nation had not had part in her kingdom and had gotten of her spoils. So they're guilty. They benefited one way or another from our captivity. That's right.
That's it. Hey,
Everybody benefited from our association. I mean, from our captivity, man. And matter of fact, and they continue to shame us. I'm gonna say this last thing before we sign off. I just saw an advertisement for Disney. Had a pretty little Indian chick in the claim. But matter of fact, I've seen it in another show. I already got it in another show. But anyway, she was in Witcher. But the fairy godmother is a fairy god nigga.
Cinderella.
Right, Niggerella. Right. Hey, so with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, all glory, honor unto Yahweh.
Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash.
Wa Abba Ball.